All right, good afternoon, folks. Welcome on back here this Thursday, March 14th, on the road. Actually, not in my typical Florida setup right now, so trying to remain a little quiet, but great to see all of our students and members just joining us here inside our live trading room. Great to see Chuck, great to see Kathleen, great to see all of our students, otherwise Alex as well. We had Bill, we had Phil, we had Charlene, Luis, and all of us just joining us here. So, whether you're inside our live trading room, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook Live, all of our social streams and platforms there, that being at Cyber Treating You. As always, there just on the lower left, you'll see pop up on our streams for any of our new attendees joining us. Just be a friend, tell a friend, right? Just make sure to subscribe right to our social media platform right there at Cyber Treating You. We're on a nice runner here. SOUN, right? So finally, this is beginning to push back up. Really quick, if you're in our trading room right now, let me just ask who is in this trade currently? Kathleen, are you in? Bill, any of our students right now? Because man, it took a little while to get the gears going on this bounce, but this is playing out a hell of a lot better than I even thought it was going to. So I took a little money off of the table here, and I still have some left. But man, this is really doing a good job here, right? So if you're in from the 8 level that we were calling out, Kathleen or Kevin, I'd say it's a good time to take some money, even just before. Actually, if you're in our chat board, you definitely see it. It's like the most recent chat right before I started this meeting here. But I wrote to you, popping up right now if you're in our room. SOUN new iceberg at 840, right there for 97,000. It looks like it just broke over it, but is it going to continue? And even if it does, what's our next resistance from there? Because of the run up that we had back from this, like, last few days, there's probably a few different levels to worry about. Our next big one on my chart, my graph here, is actually the closing bell print from yesterday at 865. That was the closing price, and that typically is going to create a huge level to work off of next. But even before that, look at what's on the order book here. There's 97K at 840. Well, there's actually 120 or 130,000 shares at 850. And you got the VWAP there right below it. So a lot of congestion, right? If you were in from 8, I think this is a good time to just take a little off the table. I already took a little off the table. So I'm going to hang on to the second half of what I got, at least for now, and I'll manage it as we go through this meeting. I just want to make sure students like Kathleen and Phil or Brad or any of our students who are just joining us right now, Charlene in from 815 iceberg. Okay, so she saw an iceberg there. And you know what? I think that she's looking to get out right around 850, it seems. So very nice trade from Charlene. And Kevin and any one of us here. So I'm going to put this on our watch list. Obviously, we love this trade. SOUN. The more stock pushes up, at least from like the cheapies, like $2, $3, $4 range, when it gets around 7, 10, 12, $15. I mean, look at all the crypto stocks, right? CLSK, Mara. You know how much I love those. Well, it's because the more a stock goes up from like the cheapies into at least the $10 area, give or take, you're going to start seeing more people trade it. And even though the order book may fill out or may thin out, I'm sorry, may thin out here and there, if the stock still has a good spread, more often than not, it's one to keep an eye on. And this is one to keep an eye on going forward for a long time now, up and down at least. So I'm going to keep it on our list here. There's our little pullback. So we'll see if this could at least survive and stay above 816 for me. I got my stop set at least on the second half of my trade. So I know my seatbelt's on there. Taking a look at a couple of the other AI stocks, though. Not doing too hot. BBAI, CXAI, GXAI. Is there like JXAI? I don't know. Is there? I don't know. I'm just playing around there. No, but really, like we've been kind of trading a lot of these AI stocks over the last couple of days, just checking in with them here and there. Don't just try and trade any one of them. They got to be trending first, right? Tradable trend trap. So with saying that, good spreads, good order books, and even going back to kind of the lead horse of them, at least from back last year when this AI sector really blew up, with AI itself, C3 AI. Look at this thing. It's at the low of the day. And otherwise, just look at the whole market. It's been pretty wonky up and down, mainly down throughout the day. And, otherwise, we'll see if there's anything else at least running on its own accord, kind of on its own news or whatever the case may be. We had a couple of these at least on the top of the gainers list. So what we'll do is go right from top to bottom here and see if there's anything else looking good. The PBM to begin. Actually, I'll tell you what, probably need to move this up here. I'm actually on one screen right now. Well, to be honest, honestly, it's kind of 3 monitors I'm using, but I'm tapped in remotely from my laptop into my Florida computer. So I'm looking at the float here on PBM. This is a microscopic float. Tiny. So that means pops and drops like this here, right? Back from a week or two back here. Same thing is happening, it seems here. Popped just before, it's making lower highs, it's kind of filling out sideways, I guess. You know what? I'll kind of slip it on our list for now, but if it shakes down during this meeting, I'll definitely take it off. Just be careful with that float. That is super tiny. Even this one is too. Don't get me wrong. APM, 2.5 million share float, but the order book is actually way worse on this than the other one. So we'll scrap the APM. We'll scrap the HNRA. Henry, we'll call that. It's actually my father's name. But and keep going here. Why my this stock was from this morning. This was a decent trade in pre-market. It looks like a mess, but this was actually pretty decent in pre-market at first, calling it out off of the 135 level, right? It wasn't was it pre-market? Was it after the open? Maybe it was after the open. No, it was pre-market. It was here. It was this move. It was this move here. Yeah, so we had the push. It popped above 135. It held above that as support. That was our push in pre-market. Then afterwards, I guess it tried again, but it fell off. So, yep, we're moving forward from a lot of these trades, at least that we had from before. How about Dick's Sporting Goods? Jeez, I mean, they had earnings just, this morning, popped up early, but you don't normally see a stock like this just explode right out the gate. It was at all-time highs, right? So when there's all-time highs, there's no historical resistance to work off of there. You don't have to worry about any like consolidation back from 2018, 2021, whatever it is. So that's what led to the quick pop out the gate. But then obviously it didn't really, you know, keep up there. It kind of pulled back way before that reversal time. All right. My trader here, Alex, was talking about CRMD earlier. Just a little slow, a little thin volume. Volume is actually, I wouldn't even say thin as much. Probably the book map looks a little weird. That would be my just guesstimate here. Like very balanced order size, honestly. Nothing really standing out above something else there. And the spread's not terrible, at least, right? So looking, naked eye at the order book doesn't look too bad, but I bet you that heat map looks pretty ugly. The fact that it's at the highs, I'll kind of keep into consideration here. I'll put this on our list. Had a nice day yesterday, too. Also, I think there's a little gap fill maybe on this. Double check. Mm, yeah, tiny bit, tiny bit. Not too much, but if it keeps up here, iceberg order joins the bid side, maybe that could help promote that next squeeze up higher. All right, SOUN really quick. I'm just pulling the plug on this guy right now. I'm just yanking my trade out. Just I see it dipping back down a bit. I saw it on my price column here on the lower right. And just with that, like just I can get back in, right? There's no need to try and hang on. If it looks like it's going to pull back, just get the hell out and then we'll try and refocus on it in 10 minutes, right? So I'll come back to this at least once I finish this meeting with you. We'll keep SOUN on the watch list though. Obviously, we're going to keep it on our list. All right, what else we got here? Just going down this gainers side here, my kind of custom built gainers list. LAC was a gap fill just on the way down. That was a total flop. Boyle, ooh, really good trend here. I guess you could say finally, right? Because this ETF has been getting whacked for the last year and a half now. So, about time making a little intraday squeeze here. I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for that eventual squeeze rally. But as far as a day trade, at least you're heading into the close next 75, 80 minutes here. Looks pretty good. STI, UNCY, a lot of these cheapies here, just kind of filling out the gainer side here. Oh, here's another one, MDAI. That was another one I forgot. There we go. Robinhood pop and drop from earlier. That is a total short now. That actually could make the watch list. Could. I mean, lower high, back down to 18. More gap to fill on the way down there, perhaps. All right, Bitcoin dropping off, maybe. We'll take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, or at least the BlackRock one. That's the one I'm going to be following going forward, at least. But, IBIT, lower high, pulling back, hasn't made lower low yet. But, I mean, Robinhood owns a ton of crypto and Bitcoin in particular. If you didn't know that, look it up. They really do. One of the biggest Bitcoin holders actually out there. So, Robinhood could be a decent short to go with it. Just, I'll see if there's anything else looking even better on the way up, perhaps, or maybe even better on the way down as a short. Tradable, though. All right. I think that we're pretty much finishing up the gainer side here. You got UVXY ETF, right? And VIX ETF, but looks like it pulled back a little bit. All right, we'll hop over to the losers list, seeing if there's anything looking just as good, if not better, from that side. SWIN. Ooh, it's hard to borrow. Actually, very thin order book too. This thing's been all over the place. What the hell happened here? SW. This thing went from holy smokes, from 12 up to 66, then back down, and then one more trip back up towards the 60s, even 70s, then back down. What the hell is this thing doing? Solowin Holdings. Has anyone ever heard about this company before? Jesus, that is a crazy move. Tell you what, I'm going to keep going down my list here. I don't even care to check the news myself. Just I'll check it out later, when I have the time. If anyone wants to maybe be a team player, just check themselves perhaps here. I'm just going to finish up my watch list for you. I'd rather focus on stocks that we can trade. You know what I mean? Stocks that have a better order book, stocks that are within our price range, or at least they haven't been through the spin cycle up and down like that has. S. This has been a good short today. I called it out earlier. A little, got it a little choppy afterwards, but now at this point, still sticking near the lows. So I do like this Sentinel trade. S is a short. Connell. So obviously Coinbase down big too. Bitcoin down. Affirm. That's right. Wow, we haven't traded Affirm in a little while now. I had a great squeeze on them at the end of last year into the beginning of this. Well, it goes up eventually, comes back down, I reckon. But yeah, great short with the Sentinel stock there too. See if there's anything else looking good though. UA, typically if you get a couple of these energy companies down like Bloom, BE, just take a look at some of these others like Run, maybe like an N phase, more expensive perhaps. Yeah, these are good shorts right now. Maybe like SPWR. It's getting too cheap. Also hard to borrow. Can't short this one at least. Bloom. I like Bloom. BE. Good short to work with there. Energy company. If you trade Run, Sunrun, more often than not, we got a couple of us in our room that do. You know who you are, right? I could easily add this to our list, just going from top to bottom and seeing if there's like any more that's even down more percentage wise, moving faster even, but very tradable short here on the Run trade. Uh, my old girlfriend here, ex US Steel. Wow, talk about a total gap fill. Sheesh. This thing ended up filling the gap right off its buyout, right? X got bought out, if I'm not mistaken. It was rumored, then it was made official, but ended up leading to a big drop yesterday. I didn't take that into consideration. I forgot about that. Damn. So, I ended up leaving yesterday to go to basketball game. Unfortunately, my team lost. But I ended up missing X yesterday in the afternoon. It dropped, and then I guess that makes sense why it was such a good short. There was a lot of room to fill on the way down with that gap. All right, Mara. We'll take a look here. Rivian. Ooh, Rivian good short also. Throw Rivian on our watch list here too. Now we're kind of dipping into some slower trades. You got like Upstart, a little more volatile. Look at that quick. Coinbase, look at that quick. Nothing really looking too great otherwise. We got a decent one here to work with though heading into the close. So if there's anything else that I missed, folks, up, down, left, right, more than 5%, just type it in the chat board right now. Just let me know here. Bill says X, no. Um, well, going into the close, let's see what else we got on the SOUN, just laying over support for the time being. So that stays on our watch list for now. Listen, we got a few good longs, we got a few good shorts to work with, we got some nice variety up and down. We got a few decent level 1 to 3 stocks at least. They're not all crazy big spreads, so there's truly a lot to work with here heading into this afternoon. I look forward to it. So for all of us on YouTube, Facebook Live, etc., just again, just if you're not following us just on our social feeds at Cyber Trading U, perhaps just Cyber Trading University, maybe if you're on Facebook there, but at Cyber Trading U is the handle. Otherwise, make sure to follow, subscribe, so you know when we're going live each and every weekday, Monday to Friday. But otherwise, from there though, if you're interested in joining us in our live trading room, just scan that QR code just on the top left. Top left should be up there. And then from there, we look forward to having you join us just for a week-long trial, see all of our students, see all of our instructors, get a free workshop every Tuesday. And with that said, hey, I'll be back on the mic coming up in just about 15 minutes to wrap things up here. Got one more hour left. And, hey, best of luck heading into the close for all of us here. Talk to you all soon.